folks, this is Omega here, and welcome to my impression of the Xbox or the Microsoft press conference for whatever they were going to review. So yes, it did review, reveal the Xbox, the machine itself, and it's called Xbox One, which is kind of weird, but, I don't really care about the name, but a lot of people do, and it's just it sounds a little weird, but eventually we'll get used to it. So I just want to go through a few things I wrote down that that came from the press conference. I might have missed a few little smaller, a few other things, but I mostly did a lot of the big points. Like the first one, the system is all in one. It's all in a one system. It plays movie, it plays games, TV, music, and all does all of that. And they, like I said, they showed off the system itself and the new controller that they had. Other than maybe some minor differences in the look of the controller, it's still laid out the same. You have the the joystick over here and the stick down here, and it looks the same with a few minor difference in the look. And maybe once they go into the system more, you'll see probably more the difference, maybe mechanically, but at least from what they showed, it looked about the same. The box itself, I thought they would go for more of a sleek look, but it looks more like a, well, of course it's going to look like a DVR, I guess. It's more like the way the console looks like to me, like a flashier DVR. It's just a square box, and then it has where the disc tray in the front. And you probably go to any of the IGN game trailers and all that, and they'll have a whole bunch of pictures for it. So if you want to take a look at those, I would definitely head over to one of those or whatever gaming media website you go to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be up on their website. But enough talk about the hardware. They also went. I'm just going down the list of what they talked about. So specs are coming up, but they also showed off how fast you switch from going from movies, games, and music, and going to like Internet Explorer and all that. So they go like the Xbox games, and it switches to games, Xbox movies, and then switches to movies. That's all. I don't know if it's all kind of staged, but from what it looks, it seems to be quick. Going from one thing to the next thing without even missing a heartbeat. So that's pretty cool. But like I said, unless you watch movies on the system, or unless you watch or you listen to music in your system, fortunately I don't do all that. So games is all I am in for. So but it'll work out for the people who wants one box only. And this is what I think that, and everybody's probably saying it, and everybody kind of knew how the Microsoft is going with the Xbox 360. They want to have a one system kind of deal. So like I said, that's why it says Xbox One. You only need just one system, and you have the whole shebang. So the switch on the fly. They also showed a feel of like being able to go to if you're watching basketball or something and you play fantasy, you're able to pull up your fantasy on your fantasy points on the left side here of the TV or something, and it just pops up and it'll say, okay, LeBron James scored this is how much points he scored for you guys. And that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that for the NFL, because they just announced that at the end of not towards the end, but towards the end of the press conference, they announced that NFL is part of the partnership with the NFL too. So we're going to see probably some of that integrated into the NFL network, not network, but the NFL channel on the 360. So that's pretty cool. As if you're a big fantasy guy or sports guy, that's cool. That's a cool aspect of it. One thing they showed off is actually Skype, and it's just pretty much just like Skype. You could, I think, you could be watching a movie and then Skype your buddy or your mom or your dad or your brother or whatever. So that was pretty cool. They just showed off a quick little demonstration. It wasn't too much. So if you use Skype, you already know how everything works, and that should pretty much be integrated into the Xbox One. They talked about specs. I didn't catch all of the specs. Fortunately, I caught the main ones at least. It's going to be using a USB 3.0. Of course, a lot of the newer computers and all of them are built with a 3.0 USB. So it's going to have 8 gigs of RAM. They didn't, specify what kind of RAM, but I'm pretty sure whatever. So it's going to be using Blu-ray, so that's a new thing. Everybody thought that it might be using its own proprietary discs, but they decided to go with the Blu-ray, which is, I guess, it's a lot easier to work with since everybody's been using Blu-ray already. So it's better than just having your proprietary, like kind of like what Nintendo's doing. So and it's gonna have I was watching the stream and I don't know if that was right, but I also have written down as a 500 gig hard drive. And then that's probably going to be, I want to say there's probably going to be 2 models for it. Maybe they have the 500 gig as the lowest model, maybe a 1 terabyte for the highest model, but who knows what's going to happen. This could probably be there probably could only be 1 model, and they will just use this, or this will be the highest model and you have a lower one, but we'll see what happens. Maybe E3, we'll see more info about the Xbox One, and they did say, I don't know if I want to talk about that yet, but they did say it's going to be coming out this year, so that's one cool thing, and that just pretty much already says and that's the same thing as the PS4, the Sony that said that the PS4 is going to be coming out this year, so everybody's probably going to be thinking holiday around November, October. And that's pretty much it. We did talk about Kinect. It's going to have 1080p. It's going to capture it, or it's going to have 1080p. So it's going to be pretty much bundled with every Xbox One. So so that's pretty. Adding all new stuff to it, all new tech work to it. So I won't go into too much about Kinect. They talked about the servers for the Xbox Live. How I was saying, back then they were using only like certain amount of 50,000 servers. Now with the Xbox One, they're going to be using 300,000 servers. But yeah, other than that, that was pretty much the beginning of the press conference, and then we kind of went into the games part of the press conference. They talked about EA came up on stage and they talked about how their partnership with Microsoft, and FIFA is getting a exclusive mode on the new Xbox. I keep wanting to say 360 on the new Xbox One. They also showed off their new EA Sports Ignite 2 engine, so that's what's going to be showcased for the next gen engine for Madden, FIFA, and they actually showed off they showed off a quick trailer reel for Madden, FIFA, the new UFC they just bought that they got from, was it THQ, and they showed off that NBA Live, I guess, which is kind of weird. How they just canceled Live and then brought it back. They canceled again, and now it's back one more time for the next gen, and that's probably the reason why they canceled it for the PS3 and the 360. NBA Live 2013 or 12 or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for EA. They came up on stage and did all that. They talked about just partnership, and they showed a quick trailer reel of RG3 and all that. So Next up on the their games section here, they also showed off Forza 5, and it was just a quick trailer. I don't know if it's, they say it was in game, but we'll see what happens. And then they also talked about, and it said that Forza 5 is going to be at launch of the Xbox One, so that's pretty cool to have a racing game at launch, with your console. The next one will be a game called, new IP called Quantum Break, that's coming from Remedy, who's also known for the Max Payne series. Actually, it was in 1 and 2, and then Alan Awake. So they have a new game coming out. They showed a quick trailer for it. They didn't show. It was like a live action. Then they cut into a CGI, trailer, and then that was it. So hopefully we'll see more news at E3 about the game. They also talked about they have 15 games in development, and 8 of them is going to be a new IP. So we'll see. Hopefully they reveal more of it at E3. Like I said, it's always going to be hoping to see. Hopefully they do announce it at E3, or show off a little bit more of of the new IPs and whatever they're developing for. And they also had Steven Spielberg. Well, he wasn't on stage, but they had him talking about. They announced a new Halo. It's going to be a live action series. And it's going to be directed by, was it directed or created? Whatever, one of those by Steven Spielberg. So that was pretty cool. We'll see. It's probably, hopefully, it's not. It's probably just exclusive to the Xbox One. So you probably have to watch it on there. Okay, so I talked about NFL on the Xbox. And then there's probably just one more thing left. Was they showed off the biggest game, as they said, in the world as of right now, Call of Duty Ghost, or whatever, the next Call of Duty game. And they showed off, developers talking about it and what the tech is about, and then they showed off the trailer for it, and it's Call of Duty, I guess. I can't really judge on how it looks. It looks to play the same, at least gameplay wise. Graphically, I don't know. We have to take a look at see if they have a new, see if like Eurogamer or somebody uploads a higher res version of the the trailer. We can take a good look at it. Other than that, they showed off the character models and whatnot, and the character models is great, but we'll see what happens with everything else. And then they also talked about how Xbox One's going to get a exclusive Call of Duty DLC. And it's going to be a timed one, so. And that was pretty much it. They didn't talk too much about games, and we're all hoping, to see it at E3. I mean, we were hoping to see more, or at least I was hoping to see more games that they showed off. They could probably showed off a little bit more, and it harkens back to that rumor that said that 360 or the Xbox, the next gen Xbox, is a little bit behind schedule with their IPs and whatnot, and from the looks of it, if they don't show anything as of right now, that's what it looks like. And if E3 comes by and they don't show too much other than CGI trailers and all that, that might be true. But we're all waiting for E3 and to see what Xbox, Microsoft has up their sleeve for the game at least. Like I said, they weren't going to be talking about too much games, and there will be more about how the thing is going to be working as a DVR, or as a pretty much like a DVR. And it sucks that I did kind of want to see more games though, like kind of dispel that myth that said, oh, maybe Xbox is going that all-in-one kind of approach, and that's pretty much it. I really don't care too much about watching TV on my system. You know, browsing the internet, uh, you know, watching movies. That stuff, you know, for me just doesn't hit. You know, just doesn't work well with me. So, you know, I bought the system to play games, but like I said, you know, everybody has a different taste in it. You know what they want in the system. So, but that's really what I really bought the game. You know, the system for is to play games. But like I said, we'll have to wait until E3. It's coming up in what, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and you know we'll have to wait and see what Sony brings, Nintendo brings, and you know Microsoft brings. So, anyways, you know, just a quick look at it. You know, the Xbox reveal and all that. You can pretty much go to IGN Game Trailers to get more info on, you know, the reveal was, and all the little probably specification on the system, and if you want to, you're probably gonna re-show it again. So, but anyways, just a quick little impression, and that's it. Well, hopefully everybody enjoys it. And this is Omegabalmung, and I'll see you everybody next time.